thank you very much for tuning back in. My name is Fonny. Today I'm going to show you something different than Hoyas. This is a very popular plant that a lot of people are very interested in their veinings shape. And also it is a heart-shaped leaf. I guess everyone can already tell what this plant is. It is the Philodendron Gloriosum. There are different forms of Gloriosum, even though under the same species name. For example, there are white veins, round form, regular form, dark form, or some other forms that I haven't heard of or haven't seen in pictures yet. But I do have two out of the many that I would like to share with you. So when you are trying to purchase Gloriosum for yourself, you can find this as a reference point. So what kind of characteristic? There's actually a lot, but I can go through a couple of them for your reference. On my left-hand side, this one is the dark form. On my right-hand side, this is the regular form. I will start with the most obvious characteristic first, which is the shape of the petiole. For the dark form, the shape of the petiole is round, all the way from the bottom to the top. But for the regular form, the petiole is in a D shape. It is more flat. It goes all the way from the bottom to the top. In the bottom, it's a little bit fatter, more like a round shape. But when you go all the way up to the connection point to the leaf, you will see a D shape. So that's the first. And the second one referred to the vein on the petiole. If you look closer, the vein in the dark form is much more dense, and also it is closer to each other. But if you look into the regular form, the white vein is more dimmer. It's not as prominent and sharp, and at the same time it grows further apart, each white vein. And then we move on to the third characteristic that you probably need to take a closer look, which is the flatness or the pillowy shape of the leaf itself. In the dark form, it is quite flat. You can't really see too much of a pillowy kind of texture. But if you look into the regular form, it is more pillowy. As you can see in my close-up video, it has kind of a concave shape between the vein that separates the leaf. Yeah, and then we move on to the fourth one, which is related to the earlobes of the plant. For the dark form, the earlobes are very close to each other. In the bigger leaf, it almost overlapped as well. But if you look into the regular form, it is very separated. Obviously, this one is a much smaller plant, but the shape itself, as you can tell, it will take it much longer time to overlap. So the earlobes for the regular form are much more separated. Yes, then we move on to the fifth characteristic, which is the vein. Because of the nature of the dark form is darker green in color, the white vein is much more prominent. But if you look closer, it's not just about the thickness of the white vein, but it's also about the pattern and how extensive this white vein has spreaded around the leaf. If you look at the dark form here, the white vein is very prominent all the way from the middle to the end. And also for each of the extended white vein, it goes all the way to the edge. So the entire leaf has a very prominent white vein pattern. But if you look into the regular form has a much dimmer white vein. It has a very prominent white color in the middle, but it dims itself. I mean, it's kind of narrowed out itself all the way to the tip, which you can see in the tip, you can't really tell there is any more white. And same as the extensive vein on the side, you can't really see the white vein on the edge anymore. It is very thin, even at the point when it started to spread out the leaf. Then let's move on to the last characteristic. It is the shape of the leaf. If you look at the dark form, the shape is very rounded and it is almost like a circle, but then you have a pointy at the end. So for the dark form, it has a rounder shape. It's not as round as the round form because it's still pointy in the end, but as the plant matures, the shape is very rounded. And we move on to this side. If you look into this leaf here, this one is a much smaller leaf, but as you can see, this leaf is more like a heart shape. It's not as round as the dark form, and also it's more narrow when it comes to the growth of the leaf. So this one, it's not as round, it's more heart shaped. All right. Well, thank you very much to watch until now. I hope you enjoy the video and you have learned something, hopefully, out of my videos. If you are interested in this type of content and you would like to learn a little bit more along my plant journey, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I also have an Instagram account, which I created just recently, but I will post some of the close-up of the plants that I have. Until next time, I wish everyone is having a good day and stay safe and stay healthy. Yeah, see you next time. Bye.